Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, inflation risks aren't the only worry. Chinese banking stability might be too. In China, there have been official warnings to many regional banks of a coming tidal wave of bad debt. Now Beijing is dealing with the issue by bundling up many of these vulnerable lenders into a mass consolidation. Unfortunately for them, this comes at a time when many of the already large national banks are struggling with profitability. And some of these large institutions are being roped in to help shore up the regional risks. Beijing is risking its banking system foundations in trying to avoid regional bank bankruptcies, the result of the excesses they engaged in. In Hong Kong, they finally have some good GDP data to report. Their first quarter 2021 economic growth was 5.4% and better than the ugly fourth quarter 2020 data, and 7.9% higher than the pandemic-affected 2020 data. In South Korea, their booming export sector seems to be quite able to sustain that growth with fast rising prices. Export prices are up 2.2% again in April from March, capping the 11% rise in the first 4 months of 2021. And the commodity rally is stuttering. The iron ore price is slipping still and is now off its highs. Copper is too. There are market fears that Beijing is about to crack down on buyers who bid higher prices. In the US, April retail sales data was reported as weak, with no gain from March. This wasn't the 1% rise markets were expecting. Of course, the year-on-year change is barely relevant, but if we look back to April 2019, last month's result is 21% higher, so it really isn't a bad result that was posted. And if you realise that the March 2021 comparison is a very high bar, being able to maintain that should be seen as a good win in continuing the stimulus-fueled spending. US industrial production data came in under expectations. And US consumer sentiment surveys, this one from the University of Michigan, is lackluster as well, recording an interruption to their optimism. A key reason is the sharp rise in inflation expectations. US Treasury 10-year yield starts today at 1.64%, and the price of gold starts today $3 higher at $1,845 an ounce. And oil prices start today at just under $65.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is just over $68.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar opens today at 72.5 US cents and unchanged from Saturday's rise. Against the Australian dollar, we're up marginally to 93.2 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're unchanged at 59.7 euro cents. That means our trade-weighted index starts today at 74.1, which is actually marginally lower than this time last week. And the Bitcoin price is now at $47,143 and back down 6.7% from this time on Saturday. Volatility in the past 24 hours has been high at plus or minus 3.8%. Over the past week, the Bitcoin price has fallen 19%. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.